Hey class, let's turn to Chapter 8 and review. We are going to start on page 74. It's a great idea to do a recap by looking at the first page of each chapter. You'll find the letters that we've already learned and the vowels that we've learned. So let's look together on page 74 and starting with the letters, Hebrew letters that we have already learned. Shin, Bet, Tav, Lamed, Mem, Mem Sofit, Hey, Resh, Aleph, Ayin, Nun, Nun Sofit, Chet, Chav, Chav Sofit, Vav, Vet, Tzadi, Tzadi Sofit, Daled, and Yud. It's a lot of letters, and you guys have done such a great job, and you should be really proud of yourself. We're almost finished the alphabet. And then now let's look at the vowels that we've learned. A, 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 O, O, E, E, A, silent, U, U, E, E, I. Okay, now let's turn to page 75, and remember we learned pay on top of page 75, pay, kuf, and kaf. Now, let us turn to page 86, chapter 9. Again, you'll see the review of all the letters we've learned, including the new letters kaf, kuf, and pei. And then let's look at page 87. These are the new letters that we learned. Sin, on top of page 87, sin. And remember, sin is like shin, except the dot is on the left-hand side. And a clever way to remember shin from sin is that a sin is never right. So the dot above this shin is on the right-hand side, above the sin is on the left-hand side. A sin is never right. Okay, I hope that helps. The next letter we learned is samech. The next letter is fe. I know the book says pay, but we learned pay as the letter with a dot inside of it. And when it does not have a dot, it's fe, and it makes a f sound. And then we have pay sofit. It's fe sofit, so it's the same sound of a f, except on the end of the word. And then here's something a little tricky. On page 89, we learned that when at the beginning, or at the end of a word, when there is a chet and an ah placed underneath that chet, we actually read that as ach, not cha. And you'll see as reading practice on page 89, line A. Let me read this line for you to show you what we're talking about. She ach. That's the first word. We're not reading it she-cha. The correct way to say it is she-ach. This only happens when a chet and the a come at the end of a word. So a, she-ach, ru-ach, lu-ach, mo-ach, o-re-ach, bo-re-ach, ya-re-ach. Now, because chapter 10 is our last chapter, I want to make sure to do that in this video review so that you have all the last reviews together. I'm very sad that we've come to the last chapter, by the way. Page 99 is the beginning of chapter 10. Let's go over the letters together. Shin, Bet, Tav, Lamed, Mem, Mem Sofit, Hey, Resh, Aleph, Ayin, Nun, Nun Sofit, Chet, Chav, Chav Sofit, Vav, Vet, Tsadi, Tsadi Sofit, Dalid, Yud, Kaf, Kuf, Pei, Sin, Samech, Fe, and Pei Sofit, which makes a F sound. So you could say it's Fe Sofit. And once again, let's look at the vowels. A, 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 O, O. And the next one is O as well, but we're going to skip that because we're going to skip that. E, E, A, silent, U, E, I. And then the irregular ending is below it, is Ach. Let's look at our final letters on page 100. Our final letters are Gimel, Tet, and Zayin. Gimel makes, of course, the G, like a G sound. Tet is the T. And Zayin makes the same sound as Z in English. And now, on page 102, they show a vowel that is not very common. It says, you have learned all the Hebrew vowel symbols. In this chapter, we introduce 2 vowel sounds that appear only infrequently in the prayer book and in the Bible. These 2 sounds are formed by placing the letter Yud after the O and the U vowels. And when that happens, it reads as Oi and Ui, which is sounds funny, but those are pretty infrequent, so I think they're just showing you that as an example, but you won't come across that very often. And I think that is it for now. So that is the completion of the book. Aleph Isn't Tough, and I look forward to seeing all of you on Wednesday for our last class, and for an opportunity to thank you all for such a great session, and to talk a little bit about what's going to be coming up in the future. See you then.